Welcome back to this another edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host Malik, and obviously you can see this is a different background. I'm currently on vacation, but that does not mean the news stops there. Right now, free agency is about to be underway, and we got a lot to talk about, especially qualifying offers regarding the Grizzlies. So this is from my guy Grizzlies Legends. He has very good sources when it comes to the Grizzlies, and he's already said that there have been some offers done. Right now we're in the qualifying stage, restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents that matter. So it's already been said that from a source that Cam Spencer will be a restricted free agent this offseason, so the Grizzlies will be able to match any offer that any team gets him. Same thing with Santiago Aldama. He'll also be a restricted free agent, and Yuki Karamora, he will be an unrestricted free agent, which means more than likely his time in Memphis is done and over with, which isn't surprising. It was a fun experiment to have Yuki on the team, but let's just be honest, he was not going to be on the team long term. So, little fun experiment, but all in all, knew he was probably going to make that far, and that's fun, and that's honestly okay. So he says to add context to for all the Yuki fans, this doesn't officially mean Yuki won't be re-signed. I personally think it will. It does mean that, but a qualifying offer guarantees the player 50K if they sign it, and the Grizzlies felt that wasn't necessary. It significantly decreases the chances he's back, but it's not a sure thing. So yeah, but more than likely ending the time that we have with Yuki, which is honestly okay. It's not like the end all be all. Yuki was a great player to have on the bench, obviously for attention reasons, but let's just be honest, he wasn't like the end all be all player. We can perfectly be okay with that. So something else I wanted to get into. So we actually got some news regarding potential targets for the Grizzlies. So we heard from a few sources that Ty Jerome, Shams reported that Ty Jerome, essentially, he's linked to a lot of teams. He was a link to the Hornets, but the Hornets made a trade for Colin Sexton. So it says that from multiple sources that the Grizzlies appear to be the most aggressive team pursuing Ty Jerome at the time. Now, if you remember, Ty Jerome essentially was a six man of the year lock, and he was a very good player. Honestly, he was a starting caliber player for any team. Let's just be honest. Very good player. Had a very impressive year. Obviously, the playoffs kind of went downhill for him, but hey, honestly, it happens to the best. It's whatever. But that doesn't really go from the point that I do think Ty Jerome would be a good fit. I just have to think where do you kind of go from there, because I think you can play Ty Jerome at the two, but I feel like if you do that, he's coming off the bench. But at the same time, I feel like he's a starting caliber player. It really just depends on where you think about fitting him into the rotation. Because let's just be honest, do we have Ty Jerome start over Jalen Wells, or do we have Ty Jerome start at the two, move Jalen Wells down to the three, and have Cedric Coward come off the bench? That's what you kind of really have to think about. And I'm saying that with the intentions that Jaren doesn't play the five, because Jaren Jackson Jr. does have his struggles playing at the five spot position. I don't think it's a fit for him. I think he's undersized at the five position. I think he's perfect at a four. So I think that taking Ty Jerome would have some questions on what exactly will the rotation look like, and for the starting rotation for that matter. Because, like I said, I don't think Ty Jerome takes a deal that isn't guarantee him a start on a starting lineup. You know, I just don't think he does that. I could be wrong, but hey, that's just if I was him. I think that it would. I think it would be that way. Now, something else that I'm looking at right here. It says that obviously, if you don't know, the Boston Celtics are essentially possibly blowing things up. So the reason for that being obviously the new CBA, second apron, that kind of stuff, making it difficult for teams that are championship contenders to really keep on to those contending players. Now we've already seen Celtics have been making deals left and right. They traded Drew Holiday, trading Kristaps Porzingis, making a lot happen. But one thing that I'm seeing is that obviously Jaylen Brown, he's looking for his next team. Couple of sources, specifically betting sites, have the Grizzlies at the third lowest odds to get Jaylen Brown. Um, I gotta be honest, I don't think it happens. I just be honest. I don't think it happens. I feel like the haul that you would have to give for Jaylen Brown, the Grizzlies would be very reluctant to keep. And that's not saying Jaylen Brown isn't a great player. He is, but his resume might be too great, and the Celtics might possibly, um, excuse me, the Celtics might possibly ask for too much that the Grizzlies can give, and that's perfectly fine. It's just I know the kind of GM that Brad Stevens is, and it's one that Grizzlies fans aren't going to really like because he really gets assets in return. So you're playing a dangerous game trying to go for Jaylen Brown, but I respect giving it a call. No, if it's on the table, make a deal, make a call for it, see what it is, and if it's worth giving up, I say go for it, pull the trigger on it. You know, you have a former Finals MVP, pretty young guy. Um, there's some things about Jaylen Brown's game that kind of scares me, but once again, you got the experience right there, championship experience. Say what you want. It's either Tatum team or Brown team, regardless. He won the championship, and he was the best player doing it. So you got to call a spade a spade. So that's really all for free agency right now. Obviously, we'll find out more later down the line, especially this week. So really got to find out more alongside that, just more as time goes. But something else I really want to look at. If you don't know, the rookies were introduced last week. That's can't remember all of their names, but I knew Cedric Howard, Jalen Small, and the other guy Meshack. So all of those guys came to an introductory press conference, and it basically was kind of eye opening because Cedric Castro essentially kind of gave a lot of Grizzlies fans hope. He gave us that grit and grind energy that a lot of people are searching for and overall just looking to bring to the team. You know, obviously, we look at a Jalen Wells kind of player, I feel like he's perfect for the team, and that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, obviously, Jalen Wells is only one person. You need a whole team to really, establish yourselves. So seeing that, and then Cedric Castro essentially saying that he watched the Grizzlies growing up, saying how he admired Tony Allen's game, all that kind of stuff. Those are things that you want to hear because it's good to hear that people are taking up for veterans and really looking after the game and stuff like that. Because a lot of guys don't study the game now, and they don't study the past. They focus on only their game, and they just kind of leave it at that. But seeing how he's going after these guys and just kind of really taking it in, seeing what he fits best in, and overall just being pretty great at it. And something that I found out about Cedric Howard, not Cedric Castro, something about Cedric Howard, in college he has a very good mid-range game. I saw it on film, but I didn't know to an extent how good it was. The man shot 72% near the paint. That is insane. That's just insane. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that unless it came from a center. But a wing doing that is out of this world. So props to him because I wouldn't have been able. I don't even think I ever shot 72% in anything, not even a free throw line. A lot of guys can't even do that. So the fact that he's doing that, it really gives you a good sign of what's to come in the future. So all the rookies really looking strong. One thing that was to note though, I did see that Luke Kennard's number, they gave it to Small, the guard that the Grizzlies drafted at 48. They gave it to him, so that essentially means that Luke Kennard's time in Memphis is done. We kind of figured that. I kind of said that early, like last month, that I think Luke Kennard's time in Memphis is done. He just doesn't provide exactly what the team is paying him for. So, honestly, understandable. Just a lot to really consider. Where do they go next, obviously. But, that's really all it is right now. Not too much going on right now. Like I said, this is just the qualifying and restricted qualifying offers, whether guys get extended or not. I mean, right now we're hearing about possibly LeBron James asking for a trade in year, 24, 23, that kind of stuff. So it's a lot going on right now. A lot of rumors, a lot of things that don't really have much validity to it, but Time can only tell. As far as the Grizzlies go, we're going to be following that. If they're making the trades, I got y'all. So just be on the lookout for that. And be on the lookout for the next episode. But if you enjoyed this one, make sure you like the video, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you know when we upload. Because like I say, even though I'm on vacation, I still got to get this out to y'all. So I appreciate y'all for watching this. This is Grizzlies Daily. My name is Melek, and y'all stay blessed.